Shalom, shalom, Yasharal. I want to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kadash, to the Pele Hubatons, creating as a Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to your sister brothers living this truth, and shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying to show themselves approved. Shalom. So do not disturb. Now I'm gonna talk about something today. I wasn't gonna cover this. I was gonna do something else, but I had a talk with my Ak Kadar, and the situation popped up and on this because I feel like this is a distraction. I feel like it's a distraction, but I'm gonna cover this because there's a lot of wisdom, edification that come out of this situation. Because we're about to go into Jacob's trouble. And what we seen was, if you go watch this video, Tyree Nichols, he just got put to death by 5 other Jakes that was on the police force. And he did not use wisdom. And we're going to need wisdom to make it through what we're about to go through. He didn't apply that. And it didn't go well with him. Had he been in the truth and applied the scriptures, we wouldn't see this dude, plastered all on the internet, him get beat to death. So if you haven't watched the video, go watch the video. It's 5 police officers. They all Jakes. This is a whole Jake situation. They pulled this Jake over, Tyree Nichols, and they beat dude, and they beat him to death. And man, Esau gonna capitalize on it, just helping to be a distraction. And it also got rid of 6 Jakes just like that. With one event, he got rid of 6 Jakes because they're about to get some prison time. You see, the officers were charged with 2nd-degree murder, official misconduct, aggravated kidnapping. I ain't never seen police officers get hit with that. Official oppression and aggravated assault. So they got a lot of charges on them. So they're about to get jail time. They already got fired. And it's going to be bad for Jake because this happened on January 7th? Yep. It said following the brutal beating on January 7th. And here it is, not even no more than a month later, these dudes is already in jail. And for Esau, he do stuff like that. He don't go to jail that quick. But Esau ready to get Jake out of there. And when I watched the video, all them dudes had the spirit of Esau on them. The victim sounded like an Edomite. The 5 police officers sound like Edomites. It was a bunch of Edomite spirit behind their soul situation. And I'm looking at Jake. They got beat to death. Like, that dude lacked straight up wisdom. And I put myself in his situation. I think I'd have came on home, Yasharala. I really do. Because I wouldn't have reacted the way he did. Jake think they got rights in this country. And what you got to realize is, you don't have rights. You don't. Esau just gave you illusion that you got rights. So you need to act and carry yourself as if you don't have rights and that you're in captivity. And that right there, knowing your situation and what you're going through, I noticed they will make you react in the proper conduct, should I say. You react the way you're supposed to. Jake think they done pay some taxes, drive a nice car. Jake think he made it. And really, you still in captivity. And that's why Jake, because that dude, he was doing stuff I wouldn't have did, man. Like, he wasn't just resisting arrest real bad, although he did run at one point. That's why he got tased. He lucky to get shot then. And he just kept talking about, I ain't do nothing. I ain't doing that. Y'all doing too much. And he was just acting, like an unruly female. And so they gave these Jakes on the police force the right to go ahead and be like they master Esau. And they straight beat dude, man. Had him cuffed. They was stealing on him, stomping him. Man, they straight whooped him up. And whooped him up so bad he died. And they didn't have to do that, but we know why they was doing that. They had to show out for Esau. Because Esau probably put them on there. Like, you see any nigga, hey, I want y'all to go put force on them. These niggas is getting unruly. They going to show out for they master, Esau. So they seen the Jake, man, they put it on them because they was part of a, what's they called? Anti-violence unit called Scorpion. So me and my Ak Kadar was talking, and we both watched the video. We was like, that's like some gang initiation stuff, which he did. That's what you do. That's that gang life, man. And that was an initiation, man. That was Jake try to show Esau he tough, and he'll put it on these Jakes out here, which goes into them curses. Like, we just seen the curses on full display in that incident. Let's go get there. Let's go to the scriptures. And here's the story. You can read it. It's all over the place. Officers, the dude that got beat in Memphis, you go read that up. We're going to get to the scriptures because I want to make a point to show you that Jake, we need to apply the wisdom we was given. And first of all, the first thing, see, that dude wasn't in the truth. That's why he got dead like that. Had he been the truth, he'd know his situation. First, you gotta know that you in captivity. You in captivity to your enemy, Esau. He runs it, man. He's in rulership. You gotta know that. Don't be thinking you got rights and I'm a citizen, I'm an American citizen. I pay my taxes and all that. Look, man, I don't give a damn about that. Esau seeks your life. And then Esau will seek his loyal servants, you know, the Sambos, the Coons. They want to show out. They everywhere. They all at my job. I'm pretty sure y'all see them when y'all go out and at y'all place. It's a lot of Coons out here that wants the love of Esau. So to prove their loyalty to Esau, they will attack their own. And that's part of the curses in the Bible. So let's get that. Let's start off with that first. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye should be evil toward his brother. Man, that was their brother out there, man. They just beat to death like that. We already get beat to death enough from Esau. Now you getting it from Jake. Jake gonna part do it, man. That was pretty bad. If you go watch that, Yashra, that was pretty bad. You know, that was that precept right there. They eye was evil towards their brother, man. They didn't look at him like a Jake, man. They looked at him like, you know, like he was the enemy or something. They beat him. You know, they held him up handcuffed. They gave him some good hard rights. Stomping him, he was on the ground. They tased him. They gave him a good beat, and then when the paramedics came and everything came, they really give him no help, man. They treated that dude like they gave him the treatment as if he was an Edomite. So, and look, when I want to hit it, and toward the wife of thy bosom, of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave. So Jacob's gonna hate himself and his people. You know, Jake has that hate complex. Where did they come from? It came from the curses. And who put the curses on us? Who taught you to hate yourself and hate your brother and your people, your women, your children? Man, that self-hatred come from the Willie Lynch syndrome. That come from Esau. He put the curses on us, and we seen it at full display in that situation. They didn't have to beat that brother like that, man. He was already subdued in handcuffs. Yeah, he was being unruly and talking noise, but you didn't have to kill him. But hey, like I said, I understand the situation. They had to show Esau they tough. They want to, you know, move up a position, probably be a sheriff. And to move up, they got to attack Jake, man. My job, it don't get violent like that, but like I had a Jake snitch on me to try to get a position. So Jake will destroy his own to move up an Esau system. And that's what we seen on display right there. You know? And see, Jake, when I look at that Jake, they got beat to death. He really brought it upon himself because he lacked total wisdom. Like I'm watching the video, like, man, when is wisdom gonna kick in? And then, like, you could tell he was totally devoid of all wisdom because when it really got bad, he called out for his mama. Like, he turned to a little 3-year-old. What your mama gonna do for you at that time? He didn't call on the name of the Lord. He didn't even know the name of the Lord. See, we gonna call on the name of the Lord when we're in that situation. We ain't gonna be, mama, like a little 3-year-old. That's it. That dude did not show himself to be a man to me at all in none of that situation. He talked like an Edomite. When you watch the video, y'all try, he sound like an Edomite. You know, get that proper talk, cadence. You know, he didn't sound like a Jake. And he acted like an Edomite to me. Like, dude, you're in captivity. These men have been ordained by the system to subdue you. You got to look at them like, when I look at the police, I look at them like Roman soldiers with spears and swords. Like they've been given authority by the country to put me to death. Because they don't, they don't want me here anyway. So they're looking for a reason to, unleash aggression on me. So if I react aggressively, they get to react aggressively. And then they get to go ahead and put me to death. That's how this system works. And Jake think they can march and chant and do all this organization. They think they ain't gonna change that. It's not gonna change with Esau being in power. That's how the system is. So knowing that's how the system is, you need to abide how the system go. And now we're gonna get to my next precept on how to avoid all of this. Which, let's go to this, since I say that. Because I'm looking at him, putting myself in a position, I'd have got up out of that. First thing I'd have said, man, I noticed, like, let me let the precept come out, then I'm going to elaborate. So check this out. This is Matthew 5 and 25. Agree with thy adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou shalt be cast into prison. Peek what that first thing say agree with thy adversary quickly. Now, what does that mean? That mean be a coon, Sambo, and bow down to them. No, that means when the Roman soldiers come upon you, which modern day police officers, when they come upon you, the best thing you need to do, man, agree with what they say, they commands. A lot of people sign up for the police force to feel an authority and to feel strong. Most of these dudes was nerds, got bullied, picked on, so they signed the police force because they want that authority. They want to display, they want power. So with you knowing that, if you got wisdom, give them that. I'd be like, yes, officer, on my stomach, officer. Okay, get down, officer. Okay. I'm sorry, officer, for any inconvenience I did. You know, that's the way to react right there. Not, I ain't do nothing. Man, I ain't doing it. And act all aggressive, man. They gonna put you to death doing that. And then, like, when it said agree with the adversary quickly, I done got to the point where wisdom kicked in so hard, Yashrala, it's best to do something called gassing them up or finessing them or boosting their ego. Because like I said earlier, they want to feel strong, in control. They want to feel the authority. So knowing that, why they signed up for police for, give them that. I done got out of tickets, Yashrala, for doing that. And I'm going to give an example that I got out of ticket with. I remember I got pulled up by the police one time. Big old buff Edomite, buffed in the mug. So he rolled up on me. He kind of aggressive. And we talking, and I was in the wrong. I didn't come to complete stop at the stop sign. So, I'm in the wrong. They ain't got, just put my seatbelt on, but he's trying to get me for that. So the first thing I said to the police officer, I like, man, you sure is buff, officer. I'm trying to get my weight up and lift weights. Man, how I get buff like that? Man, this dude, his aggression totally went away when I said that. And he went straight into bodybuilder mode. He like, first get you some creatine, get you some pre-workout. You got to get some protein, get the organic protein. You lift weights, do power cleans. He went to a whole workout on what I need to do to get buff and forgot about the whole reason he pulled me over. So by the time he handed me back my license and my insurance, he told me, slow it down and keep going, and gave me a warning. Why? Because I gave him that, man. I pumped his ego up. He wanted to feel big, buff, powerful. I gave him that, man. I even I flattered him a little bit. And it did me good. He let me go. Now, I'd be like, I came to a complete stop. I don't know what you pulling me over. Are you pulling me over because I'm black? If I came with aggression, he'd reacted with aggression. And it just would have went bad for me, man. He probably would have choked me out, shot me. Ain't no telling what would have happened. Instead, I took a look at him, big old buff Edomite, and gave him a compliment. And man, he let me go with a warning because of that. Man, he went to I had to sit there for about 15 minutes. And I didn't give a damn to hear that, but I just let him spew his stuff, tell me how to, get big and buff. He went out, I did that before with my job. When I used to work on airplanes, I'd be like, man, I do this, I do that, and they like, oh, yeah, my grandpa does that, and you should do this and that. My Akadar gave a situation he was in, like, give them something gas them up. Make them feel good. Make them feel proper. Like, man, I sure feel safe with you out here, officer. I'm sorry if I inconvenience you in any way. Man, y'all do good work out here, man, protecting the neighborhood. I appreciate all the hard work you do. Give them that, man. And that quells their rage. Because after that, they feel, pumped up. They'll let you go usually when you do that. And see, and that's where that Jake should have did that. He should have been like, man, I'm sure happy I got brothers on the force. Y'all want me to get down? Okay, I'll get down, man. No, I don't want to make y'all's job hard. I already know how hard it is, being a black man in the police force. But I'd have said things that, like, I feel like they'd have let me go by the time I got done. They probably gave me a little conversation and you talk to me, want to drill. They want to feel empowered. So get them that. When you get hemmed up, don't act aggressively. That gets you messed up, man. And see, that's that precept right there. Agree with your adversary quickly. Look at them, peep something. I was like, the police officer, they got talking about guns. The police officer, they all excited. They Esau love his guns. And they end up letting them go. Find something to talk about, to pump his head up. And that's called agreeing with your adversary quickly. And it does that. It does well for you, man. Because the Most High knew he was going to be in captivity. Yahushua knew he was going to be in captivity. So that's why he had Matthew write that. So that we get hemmed up, we know what to do. We ain't gonna be all aggressive and I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You don't do me like that. And nah, man. No, man. We in the lowly. We here to serve a prison sentence. We in captivity. So when that happens, it's best to, agree with them, man. Whatever commands they give you, get down, sit on the curve, put your hands behind your back, just do it. Do it quickly, do it they ass. You know, don't act aggressively, man. That dude was acting, I ain't do nothing. I ain't even do that. I'm getting down. Man, he had an attitude with them. So that riled them up. And they started handling him, you know, the way the police gonna handle Jake. Straight up. And we had exam. We got hemmed up by the police on the highway and hedges. Man, we'll go get that. So I'm not just here talking and being a hypocrite. We applied that scripture. You know, if you watch this situation, you go to my Ox page. Let me see.
Right, so they were asking if y'all could like move further down.
You see that? You see that? And when when that Edomite rode up on us, he had his hand on his gun because he thought we was gonna be like some IUSPK Israelites. He thought we was gonna be aggressive, but we like, man, this a wise counsel over here. So we talking to that Jake. You know, Jake didn't really, man, he told us we didn't have to even like stop. He just said move it down the block. You know, people complaining because we had an Eve call the police on us. That's why the police came. And Eve called the police on us. And, you know, we didn't act all aggressive. Like, you know, I've seen this one group do. We wasn't all like, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You don't tell me to shut down my ministry of God. Hey, give me that precept. You the devil, Esau. We didn't do none of that, man. We said, what's the problem, officer? You know, if you can watch the whole thing, like, we handle that with wisdom, man. We know, like, these dudes got the right to, you know, open fire on us. And Esau had his hand on his gun when he rolled up. He was prepared. He wanted to see us be aggressive. So if we'd have been some ignorant jakes, you probably would have seen us get lit up on our highway and hedges had we not, you know, applied Matthew 5:25. And then since we did that and talked with sense, you know, like, he just told us, like, y'all ain't got to stop. Just move down the block, you know, because y'all got some complaints on you. But he told us we ain't have to stop. He just said move down the block, but we was about already done, you could see. So we was like, all right, you know, because we was going hard. We had a little crowd out there that day. We was going hard through the spirit on Esau, man. Eve, I found out she was married to an Edomite, so she didn't like what we had to say. So she called the laws on us. But, man, we didn't act aggressive. You seen that? We listened. We obeyed the commands. Yes, sir. You know, because these dudes will, man, Esau want to lay you out. If you be aggressive, he gets the right. What they always say, I was fearing for my life. You know, Esau love to say that one. And they got the police force backing them up, man. That's the way Esau get to play out his fantasy. If he wanna, they don't get to string you up with rope no more. Now they got to get on the police force, and then they can just go ahead and, you know, put a bullet in you and do it that way. So.
Almost there anyway. So you want to close up?
Yeah, we can close up with that right there. Yeah, so I remember that, man. So go peep that out. My Ox page, that was May 16th, 2021. And, man, we applied that, and it did us well, man. The police all like, man, you know, he was cool with us. You know, we didn't have no situation like that, and they get all edgy and all of that, and I didn't act with aggression. Man, what you want? I got the right to be out here. Freedom of speech, my First Amendment right. You know, I didn't do all of that. We didn't get aggressive. You know, we had officers, the problem officer, you know, they rode up on us deep, man, about 4 or 5 police cars. And they rode up on us like, hey, we robbed the bank or something, man. So I was like, oh, here it go. You know, we see them circle around, and they came out. And I've seen that Jake officer before. He had his coffee in his hand. Like, he knew what we was saying was right. He didn't want to shut us down. He knew that. But he had to say a little bit. You know, he had the Edomites all flanking him. And, you know, we applied the scriptures, and it did well for us, man. We didn't have no issues. And like, ever since then, we ain't had no issues with the police. Like, Jake patrolling the downtown we be at. Jake, I one time rode through and pumped the fist up. I was like, oh, we good. He know what it is. So we've had no problems, man. You gotta know how to handle yourself. And I'm gonna go get this right here. And that even like sometimes just dealing with people, man. I remember we had a Black Panther, the new Black Panther dude roll up on the camp because, you know, they got into it with IURC. He rolled up on us in a rage too. Like, he was hot. Like, he about to put a bullet in us or something, man. But, answering him, seeing what the issue was, and, when it was all said and done, he got edified, man. And that's because I didn't act all aggressive, wasn't scared, and we just answer what's the problem, man. He like, y'all them Hebrew Israelites, and why y'all do this and that? And see, he lumped us all together. He found out that there's different sects, different groups of Hebrew Israelites. So the group you got into it with, we're not with that group. We're not affiliated with them. We don't even like that group. So he found that out. And, he went his little way. He found that group is ran by Esau, eating them so-called white man. He like, oh, no wonder we got into it with them. So he got edified. So check it out. This is Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So if you getting jammed up with the police, man, don't give them no grievous words. You're going to stir up their anger, man. Give them a soft answer, man. Don't talk to them like, I apologize for any inconvenience I caused. Officer, is there, anything I did wrong that I broke the law? And, whatever commandments he give you, talk, like you got some sense. And you ain't got to be aggressive. Don't be aggressive. They going to get aggressive. And they really want you to come aggressive. Because they already want to beat you up and shoot you. So when you come aggressive, they like, oh yeah, I got action. Like Day on Friday after next. Top flight security, they top flight police officers. So you give them action when you come aggressively. So just come talk calm. I notice when you talk, give them a calm, like that scripture just said. You give them a calm answer. It turns away their wrath. Because then they're like, okay, the situation ain't like that. Because they don't want that heat on them like that. And check it out. I'm going to read number 2, Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. See, that backs what I said. The tongue of the wise, man. We got to act with wisdom. And to know wisdom, first you got to know your situation, man. You in captivity. Man, you are in captivity to your enemies, your adversary. They seek to take your life away from you. So you need to know that. And so with that, you need to talk to the police officer in a calm manner, man. Obey their commands. And even if it's messed up, a lot of times they do stuff messed up, okay, just let it go. And see, a lot of them to be getting Jake knocked off be pride. Because they think they got rights. They think they this and they that, man. Let your pride go. Pride get you killed. Let your pride go. Gas that dude up. Whatever police officer you're dealing with, go ahead and gas him up, finesse him. Tell him what he want to hear. Even if he in the wrong, just let it go. Take whatever you gonna do, even if you going to jail. Go to jail, get your bail, and get out. It's that simple, man. Don't act aggressive when they already got you, apprehended. Because then they're gonna seek to put their knee on your neck, put you to death. When I watched all these J's that got put to death by the police, they did not react with wisdom. They reacted with aggression. And I'm like, that's not smart or wise. Because Esau already wants to put you to death. So he wants you to act aggressive. So therefore, he can apply deadly force and usually get away with it. So knowing that, don't give the devil the right to do that. Act like an upright citizen. Use calm words and obey the commands. Because guess what? He's the Roman soldier right now. That's his job. Is to go around and be the authority. So obey the commands. Throttle down, let your pride go, man. And you like to see to humble somebody or to get them praise, that shows you gotta let your pride go to give another person praise. They said, let that pride go, man. Tell that dude, man, you doing a good job. Man, whatever it is, you think he into it, he like, tell him that. Tell him you feel safe with him being out here in the community. Tell him, give him that. That's what he signed up for. Give it to him. And when you do that, usually they'll let you go. You done fed his little ego, boost his little ego. He gonna let you go, man. And usually, man, the Jakes I'm watching that's getting put to death is because they're acting unwise and unruly. And so they giving them the right to do what they signed up to do because they want to put a bullet in Jake. They want to do that. So when you act unruly, you give them the green light to do you like that. Like, oh, I got one. So don't do that because they can't act aggressively with you if you ain't doing nothing. Or if you being calm. I know there's usually a calm spirit to put them in a calm spirit. And they'll leave you alone. I notice that's going to be harder for us men than women. Women already do that instinctively. Most they got that's smart. I know our women, Southern Cal, they messed up. They don't do that, but women usually do that. As a man, we're wired to act with aggression when you get met with aggression. When it comes to these Roman soldiers or the modern day police force, even when it comes to this military is about to roll out, like I said, we go into Jacob's trouble. You might have to act like that with the military when they come through, kicking doors in, taking people's foods and supplies. You might have to do that then. Man, I could be all like, hey, this is my house. I pay the bills and I do this. Man, that martial law troop ain't gonna care, man. They're not going to care. They got orders. They gonna come in. If you get rude, they gonna blah, blah, blah and lop you up. You know? So that's why I did this lesson, to show that wisdom is gonna carry us through, man. We need to start applying that, man. These jakes that's getting put to death, they don't have wisdom. They don't. They react very, very foolish, like the scriptures say. So I'm gonna leave off this right here. So this is like a future pretense. Get ready for, the police is about to get wired up. You got part of the National Guard gonna be going through house to house, doing wellness checks and kicking doors in. Cause man, this thing turning up. It's turning up. So we gotta use the wisdom that we've been given with these scriptures and apply that heavily, man. Cause that's what's gonna preserve us. That's why it was written. That's why I say anybody new need to get to reading up on these words, man. So you get these precepts, especially ones I just pulled. So when you get in a situation, you can apply it and it can preserve your life. Because that's why Yahushua gifts us with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that's the love right there. Because here go wisdom of Solomon 7:28. For Yahweh loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. He gifted those that he loved with wisdom, man, and we apply that, and it's doing us good. Because I'm watching jakes that ain't got wisdom, and they're straight getting judgment, man. Straight up. And I'm looking like, hey, man, damn, would you ever go apply a little bit of wisdom? Where's the wisdom kicked up? You already got knocked out about 4 times. You still talking noise? And you just gonna make it worse on yourself. He got up. Matter of fact, he got up and ran at one point when they were subduing him. I'm like, man, it's surprising they didn't, lop him up in the back. They hit him with the taser. They could have hit him with the, hit him with the lead at that point. That was not smart. To run from the police. That's not smart, man. That gives him the right to go ahead and pull them guns out. Just go ahead and, man, do what they tell you to do. Follow commands. And look like, man, dude act like he had like 3 kilos of coke in the back or something. Like, man, you know you ain't did nothing that bad. This, do what they say do. If they even do hit you with something, it's gonna be something light. You can call somebody, bail me out, man, $100. So I'm just like, man, Jake's wisdom is gone. Straight up. And thus, we got to call halal Yahabashah Shah. We've been gifted with wisdom. So we don't act like that. And that right there, we need to build that gift. Because things about to intensify. Like in a minute, we're going to be dealing with actual soldiers. Go come in, kick your door in, and be acting, belligerent and crazy with you. And you can't be all that, in that Rambo spirit. Oh, you don't come in my house, and then I'll get the lop, 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 lop. And, man, you might get your whole family knocked off being aggressive, man. You got to know, like, lock into Yahushua. He'll give you the words to say to quell the evil. I know this Abraham did that when he got jammed up by the Egyptians. They even took his wife. He had to use wisdom. King David had to use wisdom. Saul was trying to take his life away from him. He had to deal with wisdom. Like wisdom, man, when you read these scriptures, like knowing what to do, wisdom goes a long way. It really does in preserving your life. So we should be trying to get more of that and dwell in the precepts I pulled, y'all, because things about to get crazy. And we need to be moving in the spirit of Yahabashah Shah so that we can be preserved and get salvation and, Lord willing, get deliverance up out of this place because we're in captivity. So with that, I hope this has been edifying. I want to say Kwam Yashar Allah, detailed by Bob, Shalom.